Hello, Fansplash fans. Welcome to part 9. Holy crap. Of the Journey to Infinity War review series that Fansplash is putting on just for you and our own entertainment. And I will be holding this shield this entire review because if there was ever a call for it, it would be the movie that made me fall in love with the Captain America character. Like, I liked First Avenger a lot. Actually, I do love that movie, but I didn't have a favorite Avenger before Winter Soldier.
What movie is this?
This is Winter Soldier. This is Captain America: Winter Soldier, my favorite movie in the Marvel franchise.
Captain America, the
Winter Soldier. Yes.
Wow.
The same.
No, the very same. And what a great film.
It is. It's so good. And there's so many things that made me and others question this movie going into it. The first announcement was the directors. This will be directed by the Russo brothers. And we're all like, who?
And then what had they done before that?
The show Community. Anyone familiar with Community? And they also did You, Me, and Dupree with Owen Wilson. So, perfect.
Oh, I was thinking Marley and Me. You, Me, and Dupree. Oh, that one.
Yeah,
really.
Right?
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh, why? And
it's his best man, and he's wearing the Flash suit. Yeah. Okay. I remember that movie.
And you go...
Can we talk about that instead of the Winter Soldier? No. I'm not particularly interested in the Winter Soldier.
No, I would beat you to death with a shield. Made of definitely metal. But you look at the last two movies. I put my bar low for this movie because if you don't know what I think about Iron Man 3, go watch the review for Iron Man 3. Thor: The Dark World is fine but forgettable. I think, in my opinion. I think you liked it more than I did.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
So that was kind of two not so great. We had the Avengers, and then like meh. And I was like, I don't trust these directors. And they're like, they're gonna introduce some new characters. All right, who we got coming in? We're gonna introduce Falcon. Why? He's the worst. But anyways, let's get into the actual film because it kicks off with Steve Rogers on a mission for S.H.I.E.L.D. wearing his new stealth uniform, which is greatly improved from the Avengers uniform, I think. It's not so bright. It's more...
Cartoon.
It's muted.
Yeah,
muted blue with just the white star on it. And he has like an all-silver shield, which looked pretty cool. And the amount of ass he kicked in the first 10 minutes of that movie on that ship was... No, wait, I'm sorry. It opened with him meeting Sam, doesn't it?
I was just going to say, like,
that's right.
I don't remember that opening. I remember a lot of jogging.
Yep, on your left, which is probably one of the most quoted lines from this movie. But we get introduced to Sam Wilson.
Good character introduction, I think, for Falcon.
Yeah, don't let me run away with this review. I'm sorry.
Sorry. Keep going.
Sam
Jesus.
Wilson.
Sam Wilson.
Yeah, we get introduced to Sam Wilson with the on your left joke where Captain America's literally running, like just sprinting laps around him. And he's like, come on, you gotta be kidding me. And then they meet up afterwards and do the introductions and stuff, and they find the common ground where they've both spent some time in the military, just different divisions and obviously different time periods. But an immediate like friendship and chemistry between the two characters is kicked off right from there. And then we get Black Widow making her appearance. This is the second film she's co-starred in because she was in Iron Man, and then Avengers is an ensemble piece. So this is the second solo movie, I should say. And then that's one of my favorite lines. I actually put it down. But right when she pulls up, she rolls down the window. Can anyone direct me to the Smithsonian? I'm looking for a fossil.
Yeah, I remember that.
And Cap says, of course, that's hilarious. And I still, every time I see that movie, I still smirk at it. Like, I think the writing of this was so good because all the jokes land.
I think they did a lot of good to expand Black Widow's character. She definitely kicks a lot of ass in the movie. Their chemistry is great. And
not even like a romantic chemistry. It's
right.
just like the interaction between them is really spot on. And it's not anything we had gotten with her character. Like, I think in Avengers... They had not that much for her to do. They definitely didn't have that much for her to do in Iron Man 2. Winter Soldier was like the first time where we really put a spotlight on Black Widow. Yeah. And I didn't know that I wanted that until after I saw Winter Soldier. So, clearly surprisingly, actually, these directors understand action. So, going back to where I tried to start, the boat scene where they're going to save Jasper Sitwell and some of the SHIELD agents that are on that ship on a mission from Nick Fury. And getting to watch his use of the shield and the way he just jumps around and kicks people off the boat and stuff was just badass. You didn't know how this thing could be used until you watched that scene. And then he gets to fight Batwalk, and in the comics it's Batwalk the Leaper. He has one of the goofiest, dumbest costumes, and he has like a big one of those twirling maniacal villain mustaches.
Oh, yeah.
But instead they got George St. Pierre from he does MMA fighting, I think. Yeah. I don't know things, but I know some things, just not all the things.
I don't know all the things.
And they find out upon this mission that Black Widow had a different mission than Captain America did, which brings us back to the Triskelion. Ooh, I'm surprised I remember that, which is the Washington, D.C. Like SHIELD base of operations. Nerding out on you guys. Where Steve confronts Nick Fury saying, like, I need to know, like, every detail of the mission. He's like, no, you don't. It's compartmentalization, which is too big of a word for me. We get a lot of insight on Nick Fury as a character, too, in this movie that we haven't got.
We get a lot more Nick Fury than we really ever got.
And we're also introduced to the to-be-determined villain, which is Alexander Pierce, played by Robert Redford. They got Robert Redford to come into a Marvel movie and play a villain. Like, this is when you really started realizing that this cinematic universe was not a joke, and people were going to take it seriously, and they were going to cast some big, big names. Mm-hmm. Is there anything this first chunk of the film that you really want to comment on? Or
no, let's just keep going.
Okay, keep going. And I don't mean to give you guys, obviously, hopefully you've seen it. If you haven't seen it, make sure that you go see it. I don't want to give you a rundown of the entire movie. But it's just, I love every scene in this movie. That's why, like, there's not highlights for me. It's like, I love this, and then this happened, which I love, and then this happened, which I love.
The highway fight scene is fantastic. The elevator scene is really good.
Yeah, and we're not far at this point from when Nick Fury leaves the Triskelion and those, what looks like cops, show up, and you get that car chase scene, which is one of the best car chase scenes I've seen in like the last 10 years.
There are a lot of great scenes in this film.
And it's all like, there's a lot of practical effects in this too.
Yeah, but, God damn it, I keep losing it.
I'm sorry.
I wanted to say, that this film has a great deal of chunks of scenes that you could watch, like the 5-minute video clip on YouTube or something.
Yeah.
And just keep rewatching those scenes.
It's
got a lot of those.
And during the car chase, we get introduced to the Winter Soldier, which, fortunate or unfortunate for me, when they said that the movie was going to be called Captain America the Winter Soldier, non-fans went, I don't know what that is. And I went, Bucky! It's the problem with knowing things. So the reveal wasn't shocking to me, but to hear, and I love this, even on a premiere night where there's a lot of nerds and stuff, but when the Bucky was revealed to Captain America, I jumped forward a little bit, but there was an audible gasp in the theater. Everyone went, oh! When Cap went, Bucky? And I was like, wow, that's right on.
Who the hell's Bucky?
Yeah, who the hell is Bucky? Right? See? You remember a lot of this. Like, a lot of the lines stick in your head, and just, this movie's so damn rewatchable. But yeah, we get introduced to him in one of those badass shots. He shoots the little magnetic mine that skids across the ground, goes under Nick Fury's car, flips it over. Most people run out of the way or whatever. He does one little side step as the car screeches in front of him and flips over. And then Mr. Mace Windu pulls out his little mini lightsaber and cuts a hole in the ground and disappears. And he gets away from the Winter Soldier. Now, before getting really bigged up. Again, joke's always working. When the car's getting shot to shit, and he's like, initiate the anti-gravity systems. It's like, offline. Initiate this. Offline. Okay, what does work? Air conditioning fully operational. Everything's fun. Like, I wouldn't say this movie's a comedy. It's not Guardians of the Galaxy, but whenever they try to make a joke, I laugh. And that's after seeing the movie like more than 10 times. Way more than 10 times. I saw it 6 times in theaters. And then...
How many times do you think you have seen it?
Oh, man. Definitely more than any other Marvel movie. It's the one that I can just keep putting in. We get introduced to Sharon Carter, who is undercover as his neighbor, and she has more of a role to play down the road. It's so hard not to just go crazy into this movie, so I'll try to fast forward a little bit. Through Nick Fury, Nick Fury gets shot by the Winter Soldier. We think he dies. Holy shit. Every scene in this movie stands out. We get the chase scene between Cap and Winter Soldier. We just saw Cap kick everybody's ass with a shield, right? He jumps out the window, does his best huck at the Winter Soldier, and just chucks the shield, catches it, throws it right back at him, and you're like, holy shit. This is awesome. And we get to learn more about the Winter Soldier through Black Widow. Nick Fury dies for now, and Shield is compromised, and so the movie then turns to Captain America and Black Widow on the run from Shield because Shield has secretly been Hydra this whole time. Which, when you watch the movies leading up to this point, is a huge reveal. This is one of the first things that drastically changes the Marvel Universe. You're like, everything we know is a lie! Mm-hmm. And I felt that in the movie, and I felt for Cap because he's basically come to find out that like everything he's lived and initially died for has been a lie. It's all been for nothing. And then we get re-teamed up with Falcon, who finally gets his wings and gets to be Falcon. Sounds stupid. Him having wings sounds stupid, but he flies around with like the two submachine guns or whatever they are.
But they made it work.
They did.
They made it work.
They made everything work in this movie.
I really like his character.
He's very likable. And we get the whole highway scene that we were talking about earlier with... I remember audibly going, holy shit, when they're with Jasper Sitwell in the car, and Winter Soldier reaches in through the roof, grabs the steering wheel, and rips it out, and I was like, damn, that's dope. And the car ends up flipping. In mid-flip, they push the door out, and Black Widow and Cap slide on the door down the street. Winter Soldier like flips off the car and drags like the metal arm on the ground. Every shot is just so cool. I don't know how they got the idea to have the Russo brothers direct this movie. It's like, oh, you've done a comedic show and a not so great comedic movie. Come do Captain America 2 and just blow everyone's minds.
Well, it worked. It worked so well that they did Infinity War. So,
and Civil War.
Well, yeah, but
yeah, Winter Soldier, Civil War, and Infinity War. And in my opinion, if Infinity War is as good as we want it to be, it'll be with we'll call it the Russo brothers trilogy. And it'll be amazing. 2 Captain America movies and an Avengers film. Actually, 2 Avengers films, because they're doing Avengers 4 also.
Yeah.
Wow.
What else do you have to say about the Winter Soldier?
I know
sorry. You have so much to say.
I am so sorry. This is like I was telling Tyler earlier. This is my opposite equivalent of Iron Man 3. I'll try to wrap it up. The villain was great. Robert Redford. People forget about him, but he was a very well handled villain. The fight scenes, the fight choreography is the best Marvel has ever had. Hasn't been matched since. Just with the knife fight and the way they toss the shield back and forth. And just the emotional weight of Cap facing off against Bucky and saying, I'm not going to fight you anymore. You're my friend. And he's beating the shit out of him. Just going, you're my mission. And then Cap falls into the water. Bucky goes down there. Doesn't know why. He just knows that he remembers something about him. Pulls him out of the water. Saves him. It's just an emotional gut punch. And this movie fires on all cylinders. Just, if you've seen it, watch it again. If you haven't seen it, make sure you watch it.
I definitely need to watch it again.
It's my favorite by far. And with the exception of maybe Logan. Maybe. It might be my favorite comic book movie ever. I know I love Man of Steel. That's my trifecta, though. You got Logan, Man of Steel, and Winter Soldier. All different studios, so that's cool. I feel like I got a nice variety there.
Yeah. Yeah, Logan's a good one. Winter Soldier's great. I've only seen it twice, and now I'm realizing that I need to watch it again. So I remember things like, in the elevator is definitely memorable to me. Before we
Does anyone want to get out? Yeah.
Want to get out? Nick Fury in Steve's apartment.
Yeah, that's a great scene.
There's a lot of stuff in there, but
I think it's got the best pacing because every scene is just like good.
Yeah, I remember liking it a lot, and I remember certain scenes from it. So, but I just got to give it a rewatch.
Absolutely,
so, yeah.
And I recommend.
I want to be on the level that you are with it because I loved Civil War so much, but we'll get there.
It's one of those ones where like you you like it the first time, even the second time, and now that I've seen it as many times as I have, that's where my appreciation for it comes from. Is the 10 times watching it. It's just like, this is great. So thanks for joining us on the long one. I apologize.
I'm not sure how. I don't even think it's our longest one. I think we're good.
I could go for another hour on Winter Soldier.
Please, let's.
Winter Soldier podcast coming up next. But thank you for joining us on part... Shit, was this 9?
Yeah,
right? Damn.
9.
Part 9 on the Journey to Infinity War. Got something in my throat, so it's a good time to clip it to the next one. We'll see you guys next time on Guardians of the Galaxy. Bam, bam, bam. See you then. May the film be with you.